And another slate of games on this Thursday morning here at the National Developmental Sports League Volleyball Series at Met Park Sports Center. We bring you the 4 games for today. At 9 a.m., we will start with Leon versus CSB. And then at 11, Ravens going up against AFP. That's in the women's division. Then in the afternoon, it's UST going up against VNS Laticrete. And to round out the 4 games, we have Quinto Perps going up against Signal at 3 p.m. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joel Parcon, bringing you the games here at the Met Park Sports Center. It is CSB Quezon going up against Leon, Team Leon here, suffering from that 5-set defeat against DHTSI last Tuesday. And they are coming off that loss, their second for this tournament. They are being led, of course, by their star setter, Venice Puzon, as well as several of their attackers. You've got Pati Orendain, Junela Sebastian, Zonchi Dahab, and Lea Tabang. And on the other side, you've got Benilde Quezon, led by their own setter, Zen Basilio. And the surprising, well, not so surprising, Yesha Rojo, who was on fire for the most part of their 5-set loss to the AFP Lady Gunnar last Tuesday as well. Also showing up were Fiona Inocentes and Angela Castillo for that team. And we've got an interview with the 2 game makers, the 2 setters of the teams. Here is Beyonce Acosta.
Starting today's matches, we have Leon versus Benilde Lady Blazers. Both teams eager to finally score their first ever win in this league. And beside me are the game makers of each team, the setters. We have Denise Puzon for Leon and Zen Basilio for Benilde. Denise, let me ask you first, as the setter, you know how your teammates play. With 2 games so far, would you say that they are playing their usual games, or should we expect any more surprises from your team?
Since po kakabuo pa lang ng team and ilang training pa lang din po yung nagagawa namin, tingin ko po may improve pa yung team and yung individual skills po.
An improvement we shall see. Now, you managed to get the HTSI to a 5-set match on your last game. Now, what do you think it would take for your team to finally get the win for this one?
Siguro po yung patience namin sa sarili and yung patience din po namin sa teammates namin. Tsaka yung tiyaga din po namin. Minsan po kasi nag-give up na kami sa dulo. So, yun, yung end game po namin.
Patience and never give up. Now, beside me, another player coming that you have entered this league to prepare to get another NCAA championship from your belt. Now, what kind of Lady Blazers do you want to exit this tournament? What kind of transformation are you aspiring to get by joining this league?
Can I hold this? Okay, so we're actually here with our younger teammates, people who haven't played in the NCAA yet. So what we plan to get here is experience and exposure that hopefully we can bring into as we prepare for the NCAA season. Our atas and our seniors, I hope you guys are watching now, they already have the winning culture, and that's something that we plan to acquire from this league.
And winning culture we expect to see. Now, same question with Miss Denise. You just came from 5-set match, but you were not able to get the win for that one. What do you believe it would take for you to finally score your first ever win?
I think working on our basics, especially our service receive, basic setting, also hitting the ball. Basically just stick to what's familiar and no extra things, no special, just do what we know.
No fancy show, just the basics. Thank you for that, Ms. Zen Basilio. Now, today, one of these 2 teams will finally score their first ever victory. Will it be the Leon clawing back or the Lady Blazers bouncing forward? We will find that out together. Let me turn you over to our game anchor, Joel.
And as we see the start of the match, Going back to the interview of Beyonce, so Leon, this is a new team, so there will be a need for a lot of patience, according to their star setter, Venice Puzon. Meanwhile, for CSB, they are using this as an opportunity. They are using the NDSL as an opportunity to gain experience and exposure, especially for their younger teammates. So we won't expect a lot of fancy things. They're going back to their foundations and not do anything different. This is the National Developmental Sports League Volleyball Series. First game, Leon going up against CSB.
From your team, Leon. Starting with veteran number 1, Charlamagne Dado. Outside hitter number 2, Runaway Gloma. Opposite spiker number 6, Eureka Estapor. The veteran number 14, Leia Asepcion. Middle blocker number 16, Zonsi James Daha. Center number 21, Venice Puzo. And outside healer number 12, Chamberlain Tunyari. This is your team, Leon. And it's time to meet the starters from your Benil Gesson. Starting with veteran number 3, Eliza Limbo. Opposite spiker number 5, Angela Castillo. Outside hitter number 6, Sam Basilio. Seller number 7, Francis Waters. Outside hitter number 8, Yasha Rojo. Middle blocker number 11, Sophia Madior. Middle blocker number 12, Fiona Innocentes. This is your Benil Gesson.
And there you have the starters for both teams. For Team Leon, you've got Dado, Cloma, Eslapor, Asepcion, Dahab, and Puzon and Punanan. Meanwhile, for Benilde, Limpot, Castillo, Basilio, Flores, Rojo, Badion, and Inocentes. Change in strategy here as Leia Asepcion, who usually plays libero, is now, I believe, playing one of the attack positions. There you have Venice Puzon. First serve of the day. And it is a service error. Point goes to CSB. Good attack there from Eslapor. So the score is knotted up at 1 apiece. Another service error, this time by Cloma. So far, 2 serves of Team Leon have fallen short and gone long. Here's Inocentes. Nice attack there once again. That is Eureka Eslapor. Dahab will serve. Nice receive. There's the set. And that's wide from Rojo. There's the return. Basilio setting it up for Flores that time. No good. Cunanan. Here's Flores once again. Drop ball goes in. Knotting this game up at 3 apiece once again. This looks to be a close game. Cunanan, cross, no good. Here's a set. They're setting up Flores, being activated several times here by Basilio, but Cunada gets it back. Giving Leon the lead once again. Here's Eslapor serving. That's short. So far, 3 service errors for Team Leon. Flores on the serve. Good set for Cunada, and that's in. She didn't play in their last game, but is getting activated early here by Puzon. And that serve is good. It's a service ace for Cunada. So far, leading Team Leon in points. That attack down the middle was too long. So Team Leon benefiting from that long attack by Badion. And Cunada able to find the spot as Team Leon is up 8-4 heading into this first technical timeout. We'll be back. Team Leon racing out early to an early 8-4 lead. Care of several service aces by Cunada. That makes up for their own service errors early in this game. Cunada, again, as I mentioned, did not play in their last game. Seems to be a good addition to the team. Already accounting for 4 out of their 8 points. Here she is once again. The receive is good. And that's in for Castillo. So point goes to Benilde. Badion on the serve. Who's on the set for Cloma, but it is repelled by Inocentes. Let's take another look at that last play. Oh, that was Basilio with a block there. Acepcion, an attacker for this game. And another point goes to Castillo. Angela Castillo with her second point of the game. CSB mounting a comeback here. There it goes once again off the block. Oh, but it point is given to Benilde. Loma finding that spot for the point. After Benilde got back and tied the score up at 8-all, Team Leon wants to gain momentum here. Basilio quick with Inocentes, but that does not go. Here's Basilio once again, this time to Castillo. And Basilio really finding her attackers. But that doesn't mean that Coach Mark Santos is satisfied with how they're playing so far. Asking his players to reposition. Joust won by Inocentes. Fiona Inocentes using her height there to win out on that last play and getting the block as well here. As a timeout is called on the floor, the score is 11-9 in favor of CSB. We'll be back. The CSB Quezon, the Benilde Quezon team now have a 2-point lead off of those two defensive gems from Fiona Inocentes. They're now up 11-9 with Zen Basilio serving. Crossing, and that will be a point for Cloma. And we've got a report from Beyonce. Beyonce, what do you have?
Joel, disgrasya ang salitang ginamit ng Team Leon head coach Maki nung inaalala ang huling mga segundo ng kanilang huling laro laban sa DHTSI. It was the unforced errors, misreceives, wrong attacks that caused the almost win to slip from their hands. But even after that, instead of scolding Team Leon, Coach Maki believes that right motivation is the remedy. There is no blame in this game. He recognizes the panic that creeps in when it's crunch time, and his medicine to that is peace of mind. As someone who meditates 4 times a week, he teaches the team that calmness must come first in order for the win to come next. With his personal mantra as I love my job, let's see how much love can be enough to get this set. Joel?
And thank you for that report, Beyonce Acosta. And it will be important for players to keep their cool throughout this game, as has been mentioned in the several times that I've covered, that it is an important, confidence and consistency is important here. Momentum is a big factor in volleyball. So if you lose that momentum, you shouldn't lose your confidence as well. That was, of course, a close game for Team Leon in their previous match against DHTSI, a 5-setter. As we see this, another point for Cunyada. But they get a service error, knotting the game up again at 13. This early, it is a very tight game. Fiona Inocentes serving. There's a set. The attack received by Inocentes. Flores again activated, but it's long. And Coach Mark telling Basilio to maybe try and use the other attackers. Dahab to Cunyada. Misses on that attack. But Cunyada has been the most productive for Team Leon. And now here's Rojo on the serve. Cunyada once again. That is long. So CSB has taken over the lead, 15-14. Rojo on the serve. Uzon going to her opposite, and that will be a point for S. Lapor. Uzon twisting her body in the air while she was setting that ball up for S. Lapor. Here's Basilio, wanted to do a drop. No good. So this will be a free ball. Here's Puzon over to Cunyada once again. That goes in. As we head to the second technical timeout, Leon is up 16-15. Addition to the team, Cunyada accounting for 6 out of the 16 points of Team Leon so far. She has been attacking from that open side and really finding the spots, connecting well with her setter, S. Lapor, with the serve. Basilio activating the back side once again. Ball is live. Free ball. Basilio, this time Rojo. Cunyada with the attack. Good. It was received by the libero, but Cunyada too strong. Lubiano just a tad too late in the reception there. So the angle was off. Basilio wanted to get it to Badion. Here's Flores once again. Cunyada. That's received by Flores from the back. Finally, Castillo gets a point from the back line. Let's take another look at that play. Basilio really making use of all of her attackers here. Flores on the serve. Cunyada this time from the right. That is off the block, so it's a successful point. So far, the Puzon-Cunyada connection has been strong. And she's here on the serve now. Oh, bad receive by Flores. So that is another service ace for Cunyada as CSB Benilde Quezon calls a timeout. take a look at Coach Michael Carino and Team Leon. Right now, they're up 19-16. You can see that they are confident, quickly forgetting the experience that they had losing in the end. As Castillo is on the attack once again for Benilde, getting that point. Badion will serve. That's a little too close to the net on the receive. That's wide for Badion. Lea Acepcion serving in a new role for this game. Oh, bad receive. Chance ball. Here's Loma. Castillo, she scored a couple of points already for Benilde. Not going that time. Oh! Miscommunication on the side of Team Leon, giving Benilde the point. Basilio. The serve. Rojo dunking it down. And immediately Coach Michael Carino calls a timeout for Team Leon. That lead is 20-19. And Yesha Rojo with that last point. She was red hot in their previous game against the veteran squad AFP Lady Gunnar. And they will lean on her once again, most likely for this game. As Castillo gets the point. Angela Castillo. Another stalwart for Benilde Quezon. First substitution, that is Patty Jane Orendain going in for Rona May Cloma. And here is Zen Reina Basilio serving. Here's the set. Drop ball goes in. Oh, that went out. So it will be another point for Quezon. That was Dahab miss timing that. Ball is live. Rojo, this time, her attack didn't go through. So it's tied up once again at 21 all. Denise Puzon serving. Oh, error there by Rojo. Score is 22-21. Puzon with the error. That's her second service error here. Angela Castillo serving. Here's a set. Dahab That is received by Limpot. Orendain, her first attack is good. So Team Leon, 2 points away from getting the set. Rojo finally opting for a stronger attack there. Cuñada is blocked. And that will be a point for Benil Quezon. As we got substitution. Checking in for Benil Quezon is Francesca Delgado. And she gets it in. Service ace. Set point for Benil Quezon. Delgado. Here's the setup. Cuñada once again, that's in. It's only the first set, and it cannot get any tighter than this. 24 all. Set point either way. Kahab. That ball's received. Basilio activates Rojo, but the block is there. Once again, Rojo. 3 Team Leon going for that ball. Here's Flores. Rally is developing here. And finally, Team Leon gets that point off of that attack from S. Lapor. They win. No, they won't win the set. They need to get ahead by 2 points. Here's Basilio setting up Rojo. Important series for them now. And that is a good block. It is now 25 all. This is only the first set of the first game for today. That's a service error for Yesha Rojo. And chance here for Team Leon to get this first set. Basilio wanted to get one through. Cuñada wants to end it, and she does. So Team Leon wins the first set 27-25. Let's take another look at that last kill from Cuñada. We'll be back for the second set. This is the NDSL volleyball series. And we're back here at the Metro Park Sports Center with the Black Mamba set recap. Team Leon getting that first set, 27-25. As we take a look at some highlights from that first set, two attackers really working hard for both teams. That's Castillo on the side of CSB Benil Quezon, and that was Cuñada for Team Leon. Both players giving their teams a lot of effort, but in the end it was Team Leon with that connection of Puzon and Cuñada winning it all. As we get ready for this second set, this new player, first time she's playing here. Meanwhile, Castillo, she has been there for Benil Quezon, the main attacker. And our referee making sure that the rotation is correct, because I think the Benil Quezon was one of the teams last Tuesday that incurred a lot of rotation errors. So Coach Mark Santos making sure to confer with the referee. As Zen Basilio with the first serve. Rojo, that's covered. On the first sequence, we've got a rally ended by Castillo. Zen Basilio in a personal match, of course, with Venice Puzon, the two setters of their teams, and that is a block kill for Inocentes, I believe. Action going a little faster this time, and that is out. Benil Quezon racing to an early 3-0 lead. Here's the set. Tapang. No good. Orenda in this time. And Basilio activating Flores once again in the backside. And that goes through. Basilio finding her attackers. She has Castillo, Inocentes, and Rojo in the front, and she's got Flores in the back line. Puzon setting it up for Tapang once again. That's a good block from Inocentes. It's 6 straight points for Benil Quezon, and Coach Michael Carino calls a timeout. The score is 5-0. We'll be back. And the defense of Benil Quezon being strong here in the second set with those two blocks. That duo of Inocentes and Rojo providing the defense up front. Here's Basilio once again. Tapang gets it over. Basilio activates Rojo. Received. Orenda in with a strong attack. Basilio to Flores. Rally forming here. Tapang. Ball is still live. Castillo gets it in the right spot. And momentum on the side of the Benilde Quezon team as we have a service ace from Zen Basilio. It's now up to Team Leon to find their confidence once again. Not that time. Inocentes with a block and the point. As it is now 8-0, technical timeout on the floor. We'll be back. And the Benilde Quezon team racing to an 8-0 lead here in the second set. Confidence and momentum firmly on their side. This is what Venice Puzon touched on early in that interview with Beyonce, where it will be important for Team Leon to maintain their confidence in spite of all this adversity right now. Orendain, her attack is long. And Team Leon saying that there was a net touch, but the referee has made the ruling. Here's Tapang, that's in. Finally, Team Leon with a kill. Pati Rendain with the service. Oh, the receive was not optimal there. This will be a free ball. Puzon activating Cunyada, who has re-entered the game. And immediately that pays dividends. Orendain will serve once again. There's the set. Rojo getting it to the corner. Let's take another look at that play. And Rojo just finding that space in the corner. And miscue there on the block. So point will go to Leon. Here's the set. Oh, not the right space, but it gets Team Leon all out of sorts. Here's Rojo. Good dive by Puzon there. And that is in for Tapang. Cerdeña serving once again. That's long though. Point goes to Quezon. Benilde Quezon. Inocentes serving. Tapang. Here's Castillo. And Puzon will set up Tapang once again. Block. And it will be a point for Benilde Quezon. Here's Inocentes. That is a service ace for Inocentes. Caminiano, the libero of Team Leon, didn't quite get the right angle there. Here's Cudanya. It's still ongoing here. Flores with a strong attack. Tapang gets it over. It's still going. Tapang wants it, and she gets it. Tapang with her third point in this set. Here's Basili with a set, goes to Rojo. Tapang just floats it over. Good dive there. And that is in for Cuñada. And we've got a report from Beyonce. Beyonce, what do you have?
Almost having that first set, Benilde Quezon is playing the second one, wanting to focus on dropping that ball and dropping it fast instead of spiking it hard. They've noticed how Team Leon is already expecting their spikes, so they're changing it up. Along with that is the importance of composure, as reminded by Coach Mark, which this team filled with rookies and sophomores are hoping to develop. Ika nga ng kanilang assistant coach Corinne Apostol na kung hindi tatapak sa court ay walang ilalabas to. This former season 97 to 99 Lady Blazer outside spiker turned coach is not aiming for these rookies to get 100% perfect and ready for NCAA. All she wants is for them to recognize their weaknesses so she can train them into strengths. Joel?
And thank you for that report, Beyonce. So expect some drops. We have seen some of them here in this set. And really, the composure, they've shown that. They raced to that 8-0 lead and have stemmed the tide here, as that is a fast and quick attack from Flores. Changing things up here in the second half of the second set. Flores now serving. And another good thing about what Beyonce reported was the coaching staff is not expecting everything to be perfect, especially for the rookies. But it's important that they learn from this experience so that when they do get the opportunity in the NCAA wars, they will have something to contribute, as that's an error by Castillo, a net touch. Score is 15-9 in favor of the Benilde Quezon team. And on that service error, we head into the second technical timeout, 16-9. We'll be back. back here at the Met Park Sports Center. Sofia Badion serving for the Benilde Quezon team. Puzon on the set to Orendain. Flores will set it up. Castillo, her attack is received. Here's Basilio. Again, it's that corner. They are the Benilde team is seeing that upper left corner is open. And that would be a service ace for Badion. Here's the set. Orendain, the drop ball. Once again. Who's on to Orendain? That's blocked by Inocentes. And here's a substitution. Pua coming in for Castillo. In the short time that she was on the court last Tuesday, Pua also got some points for Benilde Quezon. Badion with a serve. Orendain once again. Free ball. And the attack is received. Rojo. No good. Orendain, the drop is not enough. Puzon has been activating Orendain several times. Maybe she needs to make use of Tapang in the back line. Or maybe even Sardegna. But that is an attack error by Tapang just when I said that Puzon needed to activate the back line. Badion has been serving for a while now. Joust is won by Venice Puzon. Score is 21-10. Here's the set. The quick, but it's long. And Basilio making sure to keep her teammates motivated. The receive wasn't as good. Here's Puzon with the set once again to Orendain. That's blocked. And it's in. Orendain has gotten frustrated several times by that defense of Benilde Quezon, Rojo and Inocentes. Here's Delgado on the serve. And that is an overreach by Inocentes. Probably should have waited for Puzon to do something with that ball. Pati Orendain with a serve. Here's a set. Pua with the attack. Puzon back to Tapang, but it is blocked once again by Inocentes. As there's a substitution. Tan checking in for Inocentes, getting a well-deserved breather. Let's take another look at that last play. Tapang wanted to get it through, but Inocentes was there. Puzon setting it up for Cunyada. Rojo. No. Tapang once again. over the blockers. Flores. And the setup is no good. So it will be a point for Team Leon. They're still up by 10, but they cannot afford to lose any momentum. Of course, Coach Mark Santos probably sees this as an opportunity to field in more of his players. As Flores, her attack is received by Orendain. Conyada has not been as productive here in the second set, and that's off the block for Flores. 11 set points for Benilde Quezon. Jonil Ramos serving here. And it is a rotational error. And the players wanting some clarification. So there was no error there, but there is one here now. Referees reversing that earlier call. Tapang will now serve. They find themselves in a 10-point hole. Here's Pua from the back line. Received by Orendain. That's long. And so Benilde Quezon gets this set 25-14. We'll be back for the third set. This is the NDSL Volleyball Series. And for our Black Mamba set recap, CSB winning that second set convincingly 25-14, anchored mostly on the defense of Fiona Inocentes. And also a long time serving was Badion. Conyada, although she wasn't as active in the second set, she didn't play the entire set like she did in the first. But it was really the defense of Benilde that got them through and got them that humongous lead to begin that set and bringing it home in the end. Zen Basilio was able to activate the right attackers And Team Leon will need to rely more on Cunyada. And here again, our referee is making sure that everyone is in the right positions before Christine Joy Lupiano checks in as the libero. Denise Puzon on the serve. That attack was repelled. Here's Castillo. And there's an error there. So point will go to Team Leon. Here's a setup. And Flores getting the point with a kill. She's now serving. Here's the setup. Eslapor. That's long. Even the referee lunged to his right, knowing that it was going to be wide and long. Flores. Here's Ploma. Used her elbow to keep that ball in play, but Cunyada couldn't get it over. And once again, Benilde gaining momentum. Eslapor will just bring it over. Bad receive by Limpot. Wasted opportunity there. Good defense once again. This defense of Rojo and Inocentes is an anchor for CSB, as that attack goes out of bounds and will be another point for Benilde. Here's Eslapor. Rojo gets it over. And again, it's long. 5 quick points now for Benilde. After that first point going to Team Leon. Dahab, you could see it in her eyes getting ready for this next sequence. She wanted that point and she got it. But they gave a point right back off of that service error by Cloma. Yona Inocentes has anchored the defense of the Benilde Quezon team. Cunyada on the attack. Here's Rojo. Cunyada once again, it's just wide. And Inocentes will serve once again. They are up 7-2. Oh, 2 players going for that ball there. Here's Dahab once again. And that is a point for Dahab. She is the one trying to get her team back into this. And she will serve. Basilio setting up Castillo. Strong attack received. Cunyada. Nice dive by Flores. Here's Castillo once again. And Eslapor with the score. And 7-4 is the tally. Basilio to Rojo. And here's Basilio once again setting it up. Rojo, that's a drop. But there was a net touch. So we head into the first technical timeout with CSB up 8-4. And that's Yesha Keith Rojo serving for CSB. Not as active for this game so far. Speaking of being active, Cunyada has been going strong for Team Leon. Ramping up her activity once again. That's her first point here in this set. Eslapor with a service. Drop is received. Here's Cunyada off the block, gets the point. And we've got a report from Beyonce. Beyonce, what do you have?
Even after losing the last set with a big margin, the huddle of Team Leon stayed consistent with head coach Maki's emphasis on peace. He welcomed each player with comforting nudges on the shoulders, encouraging taps on the heads, and uplifting high fives for each player. Magdahan-dahan ang kanyang paalala para sa set na ito. Katulad nga ng napansin mo, Joel, medyo may kulang sa kanilang upper left corner dahil raw sinubukan nila ang bagong kombinasyon ng anim nung huling set, pero ibinalik na ni Coach Maki ang nakasanayan nilang rotasyon para dito sa set na ito. Panoorin natin kung ang pagbabalik nila sa nakasanayan ang magiging susi para mahabol at makuha ang lamang. Joel?
Maraming salamat dun sa report na yon, Beyonce. At kasalukuyan ay nailalapit ng Team Leon ang ating score. 2 puntos na ang kanilang hinahabol. At nakakuha pa sila doon ng error. And Coach Maki Carino prioritizing the morale of his team in between sets. Acepcion getting a point there, and they cheered her on because, as I mentioned at the top of this coverage, at least last game, she was actually designated as a libero. But this time, she is playing as an attacker. Good defense there by Puzon and Acepcion. Cloma gets it in. And Team Leon has gotten back into this. Knotting the game up at 9. That serve is in for Cunyada. Another service. This time it's wide. And And so the score is tied once again at 10. This set looking a lot like that first set. Ploma. Attack is received. And here's Flores. And with the receive there. Flores once again on the attack. Joust. Won there by Benilde. Ball is still live though. Here's Basilio with the setup. Flores once again. Her attack is short. And you can see in the back Coach Mark Santos talking to Flores. Inocentes with that attack. Ploma gets it in. Now they're taking advantage of that upper left corner of Benilde. Concepcion on the serve. Flores finally getting something going. Then Basilio. Her serve is wide. And Denise Puzon will serve once again. Sharp serve. And ball is still live. Here's Flores. Gets the point for Benilde. Not a lot of attacks here from Conyada for this set. Francis Flores serving. And that, once again, the defense of Inocentes refusing to let that ball go through. Here's Lapor. Rojo gets it in the middle. Benilde gaining momentum. That is long. That could be a momentum killer. But again, like what Beyonce reported earlier, the coaches aren't necessarily expecting perfect games from their players. Oh, and collision between Castillo and Basilio there. Basilio still on the floor, clutching her nose, I believe. We hope that it's nothing too serious. They're both going after the ball. And Zen Basilio ran into the backside of Angela Castillo. A little shaken up, but she's laughing, so I guess she's okay. Francesca Delgado checking in for Zen Basilio. And officials making sure that everyone is aware of their position. So the score is 14-all. Delgado with a set. And that will stay in as a point for Team Leon. But they give it right back off of a service error. Now serving Fiona Inocentes. Here's Cuñada. There's a little bit of confusion on the defense, the backline defense of Benil Quezon as we head into the second technical timeout. We'll be back. This third set looking a lot like that first set. Maybe owing to what Beyonce reported earlier that Coach Michael Carino went back to his original rotation. And because of that, Team Leon has stayed in this set. As we take a look at Zen Basilio, she's up and about. So that collision earlier with Angela Castillo, she got her shook up. Cuñada will have to just get this over. Here's the setup, Delgado to Rojo. Makes it a 2-point lead for Benil Quezon. Fiona Inocentes once again on the serve. That's a service ace. Not only is she doing well on defense, but she's also getting some service aces. We'll be back. And Team Leon down by 3 at the moment as Benil Quezon gaining momentum. They have scored 4 straight points to grab the advantage in this crucial third set. Delgado to Rojo once again. Who's on to Cuñada. This array in the offense of Benil Quezon without their usual setter, as that results in a point for Team Leon. This might prompt Coach Mark Santos to bring Zen Basilio back in soon. But they can wait for a bit, as that's a service error by Dahab, giving them another 3-point lead. Free ball here. Delgado to Tan. Defense holds up. Castillo, her attack is received, and that will be a point for Benil Quezon, who's on saying that there might have been an overreach, but the referee did not see it that way. Here's Cuñada once again. Cuñada has been benefiting from a lot of good setups from the two-time best setter, Venice Puzon. Eslapor on the serve. Here's Delgado. Miscommunication between Delgado and Castillo there. And as I mentioned earlier, that forces Coach Mark Santos to bring Zen Basilio back in. She seems okay. Basilio, drop is anticipated by Cuñada. Here's a set. And good attack. Kill for Angela Castillo. Castillo. Oh, that attack by Cuñada was blocked by Zen Basilio, showing no ill effects of that collision from earlier. Timeout is called by Team Leon. We'll be back. Benil Quezon is up 22-18. Angela Castillo at the forefront of their attack. She, along with Fiona Inocentes, are in double figures for Benil Quezon. And another kill for Castillo. Set up by Basilio to Castillo there. Here's Puzon. And that's another point for Acepcion. I think Team Leon may have found the right role for Lea Acepcion. And Coach Michael Carino calling Dado back in. Basilio to Flores, that's out. Here's Cuñada with a serve. They have to just get it over. And an attack error for Team Leon. Benil Quezon calls a timeout. That lead is down to 2, 23-21. We'll be back. Cuñada and Castillo, the main attackers for either team. Oh, that's long. And they're saying there was a touch. But referees say otherwise. This has once again become a tight game. A tight set. 1 point lead for Benilde Quezon. But that is a service ace for Cuñada. Coach Mark Santos looking at his libero. After a service ace, there's a service error. Set point for Benilde Quezon. Tan with the serve. Here's the setup. Cloma. And again, the defense of Benilde Quezon closing it out, giving them that set 25-23. We'll be back. As we take a look at our Black Mamba set recap, a tight third set won by Benilde Quezon 25-23 to take a 2-1 set lead in this match. Here are some highlights from that set. Team Leon went back to their usual rotation to make it a more interesting and tighter set. But in the end, the defense of Benilde Quezon held up and got them that important and crucial set. Castillo from the back line there with the point. And there was a portion of the game, a portion of the set, when Zen Basilio had to check out after that collision between her and Angel Castillo. And after that, there was a bit of disarray in the offense of Benilde Quezon. But once she checked back in, she calmed things down for Benilde Quezon, and they got the set in the end. Of course, Fiona Inocentes also showing up with her defense. Team Leon is still very much in this, especially with that new connection between Puzon and Cuñada. But Coach Michael Carino also putting in Junela Sebastian to try and see if they can get a new result here for this set and force it to a fifth and deciding set. Zen Basilio will serve. Who's on? Setting it up. And that is off the block. Point for Team Leon. The defense of Rojo and Inocentes have for the most part held up in this match. Oh, mistimed between Basilio and Castillo there. 2 straight points for Leon. Gloma will serve. Basilio to Rojo down the middle. Let's take another look at that play. Rojo just marching into that kill. Castillo with a serve. Strong attack by S. Lapor. Limpot couldn't get the right angle. And that's a kill. Sebastian serving. Basilio with a quick. And Inocentes with a kill. Here's Puzon. Again to S. Lapor. Finding the seams. And taking advantage of them was Eureka S. Lapor. Oh, bad receive by Castillo, resulting in a service ace for Eureka S. Lapor. Better receive there. And here's Rojo with a kill. Again, that upper left corner remaining unmanned. And Rojo wanted to get it to that upper left corner once again, but the service was long. Here's the attack. Badion a little off center on that spike. The timing is off from the offense of Benilde. And it will be a point for them. Score is 6-4. 2-point lead for Team Leon. They get it over. Basilio to Castillo. The attack, it's still alive. Here is Benilde once again. Puzon setting it up. And it's out and no touch, so it will be a point for Benilde Quezon. Ploma hitting that ball a little wide. Good serve by Flores. Drop attack doesn't go. Second try. And that will be an error on defense for Team Leon. Team Leon starting to unravel here. They need to regain their composure. And this is Francis Flores serving. Ploma, attack repelled. Oh, it didn't get over the net. So it will be a point for Benilde Quezon once again. That's long. And it's a good thing that these players admit to their faults, because admitting to their faults, that's the first step of improving. They got on the offense there, but Basilio able to manufacture points for CSB. Technical timeout on the floor. We'll be back.
We are back, and even with the third set in their hands, Benilde Quezon head coach JP still commented on how they should stop freezing when the scores passes 20. He drilled into these rookies the importance of consistent performance and knowing how to properly close a set. Setter Zen reminded her teammates to go back to the basics. Just dig past set and spike. Simplicity and nothing fancy. Short spikes only for now. Assistant coach Corinne urges for the new players to develop their presence of mind, especially when it's crucial. She's hoping they can repeat their performance in the second set to win this one and win the game. Joel?
And it just goes back to Beyonce's first interview with Zen Basilio. Back to basics is what they want to do here. So nothing fancy. Just receive, set, and spike. So a little bit of confusion. Finally, everything is sorted out. Here's the attack, Bautista. They get it right back, and that's long. Two-point lead for Benilde Quezon. My bad, earlier that was a point for Team Leon. Eslapor repelled by the defense of Benilde Quezon. Castillo with that block. And good attack there by Sebastian. Knots this game up at 9. Here's Team Leon on the attack. Bautista. Inocentes wanted to get the drop on the defense there. And that's out. No touch. So point goes to Benilde Quezon. And that's good D by Fiona Inocentes. Substitution, Orendain checking in for Cloma on the side of Team Leon. Angela Castillo now serving. Cuñada, good attack, getting the point. Score is 10-11. Another tight set. Let's see if it blows it out. Drop by Rojo is met. That's long. Point goes to Benil Quezon. Fiona Inocentes serving. Puzon setting up Cuñada once again. The receive was off. And Cuñada will get another point. She has by far been the most productive player here on the floor for both sides, for either side. Here's a setup. Oh, good defense there. Point goes to Team Leon. This third set is once again tight. Here's Cuñada, drop this time. And net touch by Badion. So Tan will check in. The receive was not optimal. Acepcion, drop, gets it in. And you can see the cheers are a little bit louder whenever Acepcion gets a point. They're trying to get her comfortable in that new role. And it seems that she has found that role here in Team Leon, as once again, Lea Acepcion getting the kill. Benil Quezon will give Angela Castillo a breather. Here's a setup. Rojo reached back for that hit and gets the point. And she will now serve. Here's the setup once again. That's Tan. There's an error. And it will be 16-13 as we head to this technical timeout. We'll be back. Score is 16-13 in favor of Team Leon. We were saying how they needed to get back their composure, or rather I was saying that they needed to get back their composure in this game. And it seems that they do. They do have their composure back. Cuñada serving. It's now the turn of Benilde to try and see if they can regain their own composure. Acepcion finding her rhythm here. And I'm sure Puzon is happy to have another weapon as Flores gets that kill. Despite being down by 3, Flores still unfazed. Orendain, that's long. And no touch there. Francis Flores, serve just gets in. Orendain once again. That surprised Flores a bit. And Acepcion with another kill. Finding that spot. Tan, she gets a point. Furious action happening on both sides here. Tan with a serve. And overreach. By Benilde Quezon. So point will go to Team Leon. Inocente surprised. But it was actually Pua. Received not the best one. So this will be a free ball. Acepcion with the receive. The attack by Eslapor is stopped. Flores, no good. Orendain with a drop. And the point. Team Leon slowly gaining momentum here. But that serve is long. Zen Basilio. Here's Puzon with a set. But that is wide for Eslapor. As the timeout is called on the floor, we'll be back. The score is 20-18. Zen Basilio has been integral to the attack of Benilde Quezon, and Leia Acepcion for Team Leon is comfortable in her new role. That attack is wide. And Team Leon will get the point. Rojo will check out in favor of Jonil Ramos. Orendain with a serve. Inocentes with a strong punch. Benilde is still well within this match, this set. Ariana Pua serving. Oh, that's an overreach by Inocentes, and she knew it. Immediately, Zen Basilio demonstrating how the arms and the hands should just be straight up. Oh, wait, the point goes to Benilde there. Let's take another look at that last play. Even Benilde thought that they had lost the point there. Not too much of an overreach, as that is another point. Care of Cuñada down the line. Timeout is called by Coach Mark Santos. We'll be back. Interesting occurrence in that last time out. Coach Mark wasn't really in the huddle. He allowed the players to talk it out amongst themselves. Bautista with a serve. Here's a setup. Flores. They wanted to go to that upper left corner once again. Another setup. This time, still no good. And that attack goes in for S. Lapor. Great start to our 4-game slate. Exciting ball game between Team Leon and Benilde Quezon. Setting it up. Puzon to Cuñada. Good defense once again. And there you go. Point goes to Benilde Quezon. Care of that defense. Team Leon is still not yet out of the woods. As a timeout is called on the floor by Team Leon. We'll be back. Benilde Quezon still has a chance here. They're down by 2. 23-21. Team Leon wants to send this to a 5th and deciding set. Fiona Inocentes serving. Oh, bad receive by the libero. Benilde Quezon, they will welcome that. S. Lapor with a receive. Here's Cuñada down the middle. Gets that in. 2 set points for Team Leon. Here's a setup by Basilio. Flores. Good anticipation by S. Lapor. Cuñada, free ball to the other side. Basilio to Flores once again. Still no good. Puzon to Cunyada. Repelled, but it's still live. Here's Flores. Drop this time. Rally still going. And here's Flores. Sends it over. Acepcion. We're still going. Puzon. Missed time there on the set. Flores finally punches it through. Major opportunity for Benil Quezon. Francis Flores serving here. And there was a rotational error. Point will go to Team Leon. And that will send us to a fifth and deciding set. We'll be back. This is the NDSL Volleyball Series 2025. And that fourth set ending on an anticlimactic note, tying this match up at 2 sets apiece. That set recap brought to you by Black Mamba Energy Drink. Fourth set was back and forth. Both squads not wanting to give an inch. And really, Team Leon just willed that win for that set. Leia Acepcion finding a new role in Team Leon and finding success in that role. Meanwhile, it has been the setups of Zen Basilio, giving her attackers a lot of opportunities to go for the kill. As we take a look at Team Leon with their manager, Herlin Ebuseo, giving them some words of encouragement. I also noticed that at the start, even before the game started, that the team was huddling around her here in the bleachers. Meanwhile, Benil Quezon getting a pep talk from Zen Basilio, one of the, I believe, more senior members of this squad here in the NDSL Volleyball Series. We move into set number 5. And you see there Coach Mark stretching out Venice Puzon. She has played for most of this game, almost the entire game. So those arms are probably tired. We're about to start the deciding 5th and final set of this first of 4 games here at the Met Park Sports Center. Joel Parcon bringing you the action, with Beyonce Acosta giving us insights from the sidelines. And it will be Castillo, Inocentes, and Rojo in the front line. with Flores, and Basilio in the back line and Limpot as the libero. First serve, I believe, will be to... What are we? Oh, it needs to come from the second referee before it is given to the serve. Zen Basilio will serve. Meanwhile, for Team Leon, it's Puzon, Bautista, Eslapor, Orendain, Acepcion, and Cunyada. Inocentes doing what she does best. Getting points off of defense. Puzon setting up Orendain. Here's Castillo. Got some rest in that fourth set. Rojo reaches for it. That shot is long. Again, they're asking for the touch, but it will not be given. Eslapor long on that attack. Here's Basilio once again. Eslapor repelled by the defense. This defense of Rojo and Inocentes has been huge for CSB. As a timeout is called on the floor, we'll be back. Benilde Quezon up 3-0 here in this race to 15. And there's the defense once again of Benilde, getting them that opportunity and a violation. Benilde Quezon getting 4 points to start. Puzon to Orendain. Oh, that's a net touch. Even I saw that. Finally, Team Leon getting a chance to serve here. Here's Puzon with the setup. Going to the middle. That's stopped, but Cunyada finding a way when there seems to be no way. Let's take another look at that. Bautista's attack was repelled, but Cunyada got it just through the fingers of Rojo. Poor reserve by Flores there. Here's Puzon once again. Gets it to Cunyada on the line. And we seem to be having a bit of feedback from the microphones here. I don't know if you guys are hearing it on the stream. Castillo wanted to surprise Team Leon there. Here she is once again, but the shot is short. And Team Leon has roared back into this. It's now tied at 4-all. Basilio, they barely get it over. A little bit of disarray here on Benil Quezon's offense. They need some order. Castillo on the attack, good. And Castillo now with 12 points. Here's Cuñada once again with another kill, racking those up here in this game. Bautista on the serve. And that's an ace. And Team Leon finding themselves in a familiar position now. Fifth set. They need to maintain their composure. That was a kill for Team Leon. Oh, that set was over. And Castillo on the attack. Stopped by Acepcion. Who's on to Cuñada once again. As we head to, let's take another look at that last play. This has been the connection of the game. Cuñada getting it from Puzon. And we'll now have the team switching sides for the second half of this fifth and deciding set. Benil Quezon will need to find their confidence once again as we have a report from Beyonce.
You know, Joel, Leon's head coach Maki himself was assisting their open spiker, Cuñada, stretching between the break because those cramps are really starting to get to her. But Team Leon cannot rest her yet. They're leaning on their experience and expertise on this last parts, expecting the comparably young Benil Quezon to focus on forcing things where Leon's wisdom can win over. Meanwhile, Benilde is hoping to get their calm, not wanting to tell the same story as their last game where their rookie jitters got the best of them. Let's see who will finally score their first victory, Joel.
And thank you for that report, Beyonce. Cramps definitely usual occurrence, especially for players who don't get enough rest. As that will go out. And of course, aside from the cramps, there needs to be calm. These two teams went to 5 sets in their previous matches as well. Team Leon with DHTSI and Benil Quezon with AFP Lady Gunnar. So this is not unusual for both of them. Here's S. Lapor long on the attack. Oh, but it is a touch. So point will go for S. Lapor. Through the defense of Benil that was holding up early here in this match. S. Lapor will serve. Basilio to Flores. Cuñada once again with another point. As Coach Mark will call a timeout. Score is 10-6 in favor of Team Leon. Cunyada has been an integral player, despite what Beyonce said that she was experiencing some cramps already. And I do notice that she keeps stamping her left foot. That's always a sign of somebody already experiencing some cramps. Here she goes. Well received. Flores. Caminiano with a good receive there. Cunyada once again. Pua, that shot is short. Team Leon 4 points away from getting their first victory in the NDSL volleyball series. And that is a service ace for S. Lapor. And Team Leon finding their poise and composure late here in the fifth set. They're up by 6, 12-6. 3 points away from potentially getting their first victory in NDSL volleyball. Flores on the attack. Here's Puzon back to Cunyada. Flores getting activated once again and getting the point. Stymieing that wave of points from Team Leon. Yesha Rojo serving. Cunyada is repelled by Tan and Basilio. As a timeout is called on the floor, the score is 12-8 in favor of Team Leon. We'll be back. Yesha Rojo serving. She hasn't gotten as many opportunities to attack in this game. Ball is kept alive. Basilio with a drop. Here's Cunyada. And Basilio gets it over once again. Puzon to Acepcion. Han will give it to Team Leon. Cunyada activated and will get the point. Two points away from the match are Team Leon. And Chamberlain Cunyada will now serve. Here's Basilio to Flores. That's in. And here we go, the cramps catching up with Cunyada. They'll have to sub her out. Most probably for just a play or two. She has been the main scorer as we've got Francis Flores serving. Orendain, the attack is in. And Team Leon with 5 match points. Serving, Leia Acepcion. Basilio. Quick attack with Castillo. Game's not over. As Stan will serve. Here's Orendain once again. Ball out, point will go to CSB, or Benil Quezon. Here's Stan. Setting it up, Bautista with a drop. It's still live. Uzon sends it over. Basilio setting it up. And that is out. Point will go to Team Leon. And they get their first win here in the NDSL Volleyball Series 2025. Let's take another look at that last play. That was a good line, but just a little off, right in front of Coach Naki. And the ceremonial exchange of pleasantries. As we take a look at the Black Mamba set recap. Sets 1, 4, and 5 going to Team Leon. This has been an exciting start to our 4-game slate today on the last day of July. Here are some highlights from that set number 5. Venice Puzon continuing to find the right attackers to activate. And they had some interesting points coming from Leia Acepcion, who was previously the libero of the team. But it was this player who provided enough scoring punch for Team Leon to give them this win. Chamberlain Cunyada, and she is with Beyonce Acosta.
Yes, Joel, beside me is the deliverer of those scoring punches, Cha Cunyada. Congratulations. Now, Cha, you showed us mind over body. Earlier, before set 5, you were on the floor, then you were on the wall stretching and doing everything you can to control your body from cramping when your mind was still filled with fire to help your team. Now, can you share with us, meron ka bang ginawa aside sa stretching? Meron ka bang mga breathing techniques, other routines, or mantra na inulit mo sa utak mo para talagang makontrol mo yung katawan mo at makabalik sa larong to?
Yung mindset ko lang po kasi talaga is, yun nga, mind over matter. Kasi nga po, pressured game, crucial po. So, kailangan, yung isipin ko lang po talaga is paano yung gumalaw. Saka na po yung pagod. Kasi nga po, sayang din yung pinagod namin kung hindi namin tatapusin.
At natapos nyo nga ng matiwasay. Ngayon, sa usapan nyo, bago magsimula yung huling set, iilan sa inyo ang nagsabi na ito na yung panahon para mapakita nyo yung pinagkaiba ng eksperyensadong manlalaro compared sa, kung tutusing, mas batang mga manlalaro ng Benilde. Ano nga ba ang mga kaalaman ng isang eksperyensadong manlalarong katulad mo na sa tingin mo hindi pa masyadong natututunan ng mga bagong players?
Kailangan po talaga maturity sa court kasi po yung volleyball naman hindi lang naman puro lakas. So kailangan ng variation, pwede kang mag-drop ball, spin, gano'n lang po. Tapos kailangan yung basahin yung kalaban, tapos alamin kung sino yung kalaban.
At sana nga matutunan nila yon. Ngayon, marami kang sumusuporta. Meron ka bang gustong ipagpasalamat o batiin?
Unang-una po, maraming salamat kay Lord sa panalo and maraming salamat din po sa lahat ng sumusuporta, sa manager namin, si Nanay, and sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Team Leon and sa families po namin. Sana po patuloy niyo pa po kaming suportahan. Thank you po.
Again, congratulations on your first ever win. Joel?
And congratulations to Cha, Cunyada, and Team Leon for getting their first win here in the NDSL Volleyball Series. Up next, we've got the Ravens going up against the AFP Lady Gunnar. That's still here in the NDSL Volleyball Series, and we'll be back to bring you that game, that match. My name is Joel Parcon. See you in the next game.